Hey, Papus, how are you? Hoikorio. Hoikorio, yeah. Yeah, this is a Chinese food, very popular in Japan. You can find this in all the Chinese restaurants in Japan. It's very delicious. It's only like meat, lettuce, and pineapple. So I have all the ingredients here. And this is a recipe for poor people. So this is the key for poorness in Japan. So if you're poor, you have to find this brand and follow the instructions behind the box. So you can have a very good meal for around, I don't know what's in dollars, but it will be like 1,000 yen, 1,500 yen. So it's very cheap. So this was 200 yen. The pork meat, it's 700 and it's like 500 grams. So I buy two of these because this is for a recipe for 200 grams of meat and a pack of lettuce and the pineapple. So it's all the things that you need. And you need onion. I put it onion. I like it with onion, so I will bring an onion. Thank God I have an onion. Okay, so let's cook. So while I cook, I really like to rant about Japan. I have lived here for about 12 years, so I have lots of things to rant about Japan. So for the Americans, Japan is a paradise. Yeah, because it's cheap and it's better than your fucking country. Yeah. Here the people is respectful. They are very clean. The services are really good. There's no scammers or like rampant capitalism. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of balanced. Everything is kind of balanced here. There's not so many rich people, not so many poor people. Also, there's no drugs, and it's very safe. There's no guns. Yeah, that's the key, the show. Yeah, there's no guns. Yeah, that's the key for a peaceful country. Right now in Mexico, I cannot say the same, and it's because the guns. If they don't have guns, they will find another ways to kill themselves. But well, I don't want to say anything about those guys. Like, it's dangerous. So, and yeah, America. For Americans right now, tourism is super high in Japan. So many tourists right now. I used to work in my past company. I work in Shibuya. Shibuya is one of the most crowded places in Japan. The crossroads that you see in all the pictures, it's there. So it's full of tourists. So every time I go to my work in Japan, sometimes I find more tourists than Japanese people. I have seen like people doing like riding Mario Kart. In Japan, there's some service where you can ride a car in the streets of Japan, dress like your favorite Mario Kart character, and they are, well, it looks fun for them, but I don't see the funness of riding a car in the middle of Shibuya with a lot of traffic, smog, and rain. I have seen them riding carts in rain. Like, what the fuck? So they have like a crazy tourist, like crazy activities of tourists. If you ask me, it's better to go karting in America. It seems that it's more safe, it's more fun, I think. Yes, you are not stopping in a fucking red light like 20 minutes, just seeing people looking at you like a fucking like a piñata over a car. Yeah, this is the secret recipe: alcohol and a lot of love. Yeah, that's secret recipe. So first, we should fry the lettuce with the pineapple. So here I fuck it up. I should have cut the piments first, but no problem. We just put them on the side and we advance. So we have to adapt. That's the key. If you want to come to Japan, the key to stay in Japan is to adapt. If you don't adapt, it's going to be super difficult for you to live in Japan. Like, it will be hellish to live in Japan. And one of the key factors that you have to know is that Japanese people do not speak English, not even professionals. Like, for example, I have been working in IT and in the best universities in Japan, and many of them did not speak any word of English, or they speak a very bad English. And with my broken Japanese, like I have had a lot of problems because my Japanese level is not good. So yeah. So my advice for you is, like, if you want to stay in Japan, try to learn Japanese in your country. That's the key. Do not think that we'll go to Japan and everybody will speak Japanese with me and I will learn very quickly. No, that's fuck. No, that will not happen. My recommendation is try to learn as much as you can in your country, because usually it's more easier for you because you have motivation because you are going to Japan. One, and second, teachers of Japanese or Japanese abroad that live abroad or live outside Japan, they're usually more kind and open. In general, Japanese people is not so open, not so warm. So it's very difficult to find people to speak Japanese with. Like, they speak Japanese with, like, friends is like other business. Like, that's mission impossible. But not even Japanese have Japanese friends. So if you want to have a Japanese friendship, like, it will take time, a lot of time. I am thinking like years, okay, years. And their definition of friendship, it's very different than we have in America. Like, in America, in total, like, I'm considering USA and Canada and whatever. Like, even if USA and Canadian people are not so warm, but yeah, it's even for Americans, Japanese are cold. So that's it. Okay, so the lettuce is already cut. I cut the lemon. You have to cut it like in pieces of, chop it in 1 centimeter, something like that. Small pieces. So first you fry the pimon and the lettuce. Somebody from Spain told me that frying lettuce in Spain is a fucking sin. Yeah, I think so. Nobody in Mexico also fries lettuce, but yeah. Okay, let's take some secret recipe, secret ingredient. So that's it. So recommendation, come here and try to learn as much Japanese as you can before coming. It's important, very important. Why? Because everything that you will do will involve Japanese in some way or another. Working, studying, debating, using internet. Even for internet, if you use Google Maps in English, it's shit. So if you put sushi restaurants in English in Google Maps, it just appears like shitty restaurants. But if you want to have the good things, you have to find it, search it in Japanese. So that's the deal. There's no shortcuts, there's no easy way. Well, the easy way is to find a Japanese girlfriend. That's the easiest way. So, but it's not guaranteed that you will have a good Japanese level. Mostly all my friends that live in Japan have learned Japanese by their girlfriend or their boyfriend. Or sometimes they're very good to listening, but very very bad to speak. In order for you to speak, you have to learn a lot of grammar and grammars and vocabulary. So if you don't have those, you're fucked. And for that, you have to study. No shortcuts. If you think that those guys, yeah, I learned Japanese by looking anime and seeing manga, that's shit. That's a weeaboo fantasy. Okay? No language gets inside you like that. Spanish is different history. Spanish, like every guy in Mexico wants to speak with the gringo. Everybody in Mexico wants to speak with the foreigner. So for the foreigners living in Mexico, learning Spanish is like easy peasy because people force you to speak. So if you have been forced to speak, but here you can do it without very very small Japanese, very little Japanese. So I've made a lot of things like opening a bank account, getting a new cell phone, opening a contract for a phone, finding an apartment. Everything I did it with a very small, very crappy Japanese. So, but it's painful because sometimes you don't understand the details. So I'm the fucking devils in the details. Yeah. Yeah, the devils in the details. So you have to pay attention to the details here in Japan. Also pay attention to pay your taxes. Yeah. And also, yeah, but living in Japan is fun. It's very safe. You can go anywhere without any car. And health insurance, well, that's a subject for a complete video, but it's not so bad as in America that you can get in the street just for having an accident. So I do not understand that, like how much poor and like addict people is outside the streets in America. You are living in the fucking country of prosperity. Like everybody wants to go there, but Americans, real Americans, like live in very shitty places. Like the system is not working there. It's just good for very rich people, but it's not good for the normal people that just wants to work and have fun. Like almost all Americans have 2 jobs. They have a lot of bills to pay, like insurance, like that. Like here it's different. Like here you can live with a minimum wage. You can live with a minimum wage. It's very tight. It's very tight. So sometimes you have to choose between buying new underwear or going to a restaurant. That's it. That's the deal that you have to do. But in America, that's different. Like you have to choose between your house or your life. So that's that's different decisions. So my friends from America, don't get it hard, but you have to be objective about your country. It's very contrasting. Like you send rockets to the moon and new Tesla thing and Elon Musk and whatever. But on the other side, you have a lot of problems that are very human and very like I really don't find it easy to solve. It's a very complex problem. So I don't have the solutions. I don't have the fucking solutions. I don't know the solutions. I don't care. I'm just talking about it. If I talk about it, I'll make it makes you conscious about it. That's good. That's good. Many Americans seem to live like a very, to see their country inside a box, but they don't see the perspective that other countries have about America. So also for Japanese, the vision they have about America is very, yeah, it's somewhat like Mexico. It's very, how do I say, cartoonish or very, how do I say it? Like, what's the word? Cliché? Yeah, it's very cliché. So when I say Mexico, they say, yeah, lucha libre, and violence, and narco traffic, and drugs. That's what they know about Mexico. Yeah, and desert, like desert. Yeah, that's very important. But just a few of people really know Mexico. They don't know that it's not just that. Also, like if you ask Japanese people about America, they will tell you like, yeah, guns and Trump. That's very important because Trump for them is super important. For Japanese to keep Trump happy, it's hyper important. So it's very important for Japan to keep it cool with USA because they depend on them on a lot of things like their army. Japan is full of USA bases. So I live like maybe 5 kilometers on the south of my house. There's a military base. And after 9 a.m. I hear all the planes like fuck. Hate you Americans with your fucking planes over my house. At 9 a.m. on Sunday, like fucking Sunday. You don't have anything else to do. Well, there are so many bases in Japan, so it's very important for Japan to keep Trump happy. And since Japanese really rely on the how do I say, on the way they look outside Japan, so they take advantage of that a lot. So even if they are not like, in reality, Japanese people are not so efficient, Japanese people are not so clean, Japanese people are not so polite, Japanese people are not that thing that you think they are. Because Japanese people are very good to pretend how do I say it? To pretend outside themselves, like they really keep their image. They really try to keep it clean. So, what do you think about Japan, like Pokemon, like samurais, ninjas, anime? All those things are really good. Are really cool. So that's what Japan wants you to know about them. But they don't want to show you like the problems they have. Like they also have problems with not drugs, but all kinds of problems that society has here. Like loneliness is one of them. That causes a lot of problems here in Japan. Also, their psychology in Japan is like its own age, like stone age. Like I have gone to the fucking psychologist, and he just asked me 3 questions to start selling me drugs. Like, what's your name? What do you have? And do you want drugs? That's what they say. Do you want drugs? Yes, of course I want fucking drugs. I'm from Mexico. And they even give you the names, like what name you want? Which one you want? Like fuck. It's a psychologist, it's not a psychiatrist. Sorry for my pronunciation, but I'm not American, as you can hear. So yeah, going to the psychologist in Japan is not good. The psychologists in Japan are very bad. They always try to fix everything with drugs. And sometimes that's not what they need. It's just maybe some company, maybe change their life, change perspective, like do more exercise, change diet, things like that. But I don't know how the medicine or how the doctors study here in Japan, but they're not good. Like in special psychologists. Psychologists start like shit in Japan, shit. So if you have mental problems and you want to try to come to Japan, don't. Your mental problems will become very large, and with the loneliness and with the alienation that you will feel like shit. Please do not come if you have any mental problems to Japan. It may be dangerous for you, because I'm saying it's dangerous. Like, I'm not saying it like lightly. It will be dangerous. Why? Because you will not have easy access to a psychologist, a good psychologist that speaks in English or in your language, and they will not have the culture that you are facing off. So sometimes they will tell you, yeah, don't worry, like drugs, and they will give you drugs. But sometimes that's not the fix. And it will become dangerous because you can get hooked with something. So I don't want to get hooked with anything. Maybe just alcohol, a little bit, once in a while. But just that. Just that. Okay, so fry the lettuce. Then I will fry the meat. I cut the meat, I chop the meat a little bit smaller, like pieces of 2 or 3 centimeters. And I will cook it with the onion. So put the onion here in this plate. I will pass the lettuce on my plate, because in Japan I do not have the space or too much dishes to do this. And this is a very cheap recipe. You can do it in your home with anything. It's very good for students or people that is living in Japan and doesn't know how to cook. It took me a while to understand how to cook in Japan and to get used to the ingredients in Japan, but to be honest, I still cook Mexican most of the time. I usually cook this when I do not have time and I'm in a hurry. So I put a little bit of oil. It's not necessary, but since I am frying a lot of meat, I think I need it. And then you fry the meat. After you put the meat, you put the sauce that comes in this package. That's the key of doing this for poor people. If you want to make this sauce by yourself, you can do it. It's not so difficult. If you go to a Chinese restaurant, they will make this sauce from basic ingredients like vinegar and some oils and salt and things like that. But it's expensive. So this is like very cheap, and you don't have to find like specific ingredients. So I will put this here. Yeah, and I will put the sauce as soon as I can, so the meat gets a flavor. Yeah. Yeah, this Hoikorio, I believe in USA, I believe you can find these ones in USA. And the flavor is very authentic. It's kind of authentic. Like this package is like the sauce is, and the flavor it's very Japanized, but it's good. It's really good. If you give it to a Chinese person, it will say like, "Fuck, this is not Chinese food. Don't touch my balls." Like, but for me, it's okay. No problem. And I will put two package because I put a lot of meat. So the package says that it's like for 200 grams of meat, you put one package. But I have 500 grams of meat, so I'll put another one. Sometimes if you put two, it will become a little bit salty, so you have to take care of that. So I don't put all the. So my recommendation is like you can follow the instructions of the box, and yeah, that's it. The thing is that sometimes you see that in the supermarket in Japan, but you don't understand what the fuck is that. You have to take your time to look at the box, see the picture, and understand the recipe and find ingredients. Sometimes I have to ask. So, yeah. But it's very good, delicious, it's cheap, and you can cook like a meal for 2 days with the same money that you will spend in the one meal in a restaurant. It's good. Yeah, so from my friends in America, yeah, I really want to go to America. Right now in Japan, yen is not so good. I'm having troubles to adapt, and for me it's easier to speak in English than speak in Japanese. But sometimes in English I don't have to think to speak. Even if I speak wrong or with bad pronunciation, people in America understand me. But in Japanese, that's a different history. In Japanese, the language is very squared. For example, when you come to in America, when you come back home and somebody's in your house, you say like, "Yeah, I'm here. I come back. Yeah, I come." Like I don't know, like, and you can say a lot of things to say that you came to your house. Like I'm here. Like hello. And everything will be like, "Oh yeah, this guy is here. Yeah, this guy is saying hello. This guy is like trying to, yeah, to meet the other people that is inside the house." But in Japan, it's not like that. You cannot say whatever the fuck you want when you get into a house. You have to say only this and only this. You have to say tadaima, tadaima. You can only say that shit. If you say any other thing that you think that it will be like, for example, koko ni imasu. It will say like I'm here. It means like I'm here, but nobody will understand what the fuck you are saying. Like you didn't say tadaima. You have to say tadaima. Tadaima is like I came home, or I'm here to home. It's the same, but in English you can say that thing in many ways you want, but in Japanese it's not like that. Japanese is very square from the language and the people and the society and the rules and everything is square. So it's sometimes for people that have like a high creativity and people that have like a lot of ways to sing things. Japan is not a good place, and Japanese is also a not good language to learn, because in Japan you have to learn special vocabulary for special occasions that you will use in a special context. And if you use that word in another context, nobody will fucking understand you, even if it's for a joke, even if for it. So we are almost over. The meat, I cooked the meat, it's almost done. And I put the piedmonts and the lettuce here. And then you just have to fry it a little bit, and that's it. You have Hoikorio. And it's very delicious. This pan will last me for maybe 2 or 3 days. I don't need too much. But yeah, this is like a very good dish, very healthy food. So if you don't have problems with animal meat or animal grease, it's good. For me, it's really healthy because I cannot eat carbohydrates or sugar, but this is very low sugar. So, good. Okay, and that's it. It would look something like this. And I will try it to check flavor. Very good. Very good. So remember, the brand is Kukudo. The name of the meal is Hoikorio. Very good. Very, very good. So, have a good day, Papus, and see you in the next video. Bye.